to inform everyone that the presentation may include forward-looking statements about the company. This forward-looking statement may involve uncertainty and risk that could cause actual results to differ significantly from those anticipated. Therefore, the information in this slide should not be construed as guarantee of company future performance. This statement reflects the company's current view based on prevailing economic and market conditions as well as assumptions used in the evaluation. The company has no obligation to update or revise that statement in the future. ขอบคุณครับและเชิญพบกับคุณปิยคุณกฤษยานนทกุลประธานกรรมการบริหารบริษัท Ubis Asia จำกัดมหาชนครับ
Right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Kun Mesa. He's in charge of the investor relationship. So we'll start off with the agendas for today. We'll focus on the business, the financial for the Q2, and the business outlook for Ubis Asia. So to start off, briefly, well, Ubis has been around for 41 years. We have a capacity of 17,000 tons per year. And well, you might have seen different numbers, but every single year we have developed and came up with new developments, new products to best serve our customers. Now we have over 700 variations of sealants and coatings. But we start off with the key products and services from our company. We have two main products, coatings and sealants, and we want to give you more information about how we come up with the products and how we start the marketing formation for these products. It starts from the service solution that we make, and well, the three main key things that we provide for our customer as a research center, as a custom tailored products and solution provider. And if you look to the right, we have three locations: the head office, where I am right now in Bangkok, the factory in Samut Sakhon, and also an office in China. Well, for the details for can coatings, lacquers, and can sealants, essentially our products is focusing on the food grade, medical grade, and also industrial grade packaging, and specifically the metal packaging that can be tin, aluminum, and also can be somewhat used in a different type of substrate. But our main products are focusing on the food packaging, as well as the sealants. This part is connecting and complementary to our lacquers line, which are the sealants that are both food and also industrial grade. These are the ends that are connected to the body of these coated sheets and coated packaging. The details of our service are separated into four key consequential process, which is starting from the discovery, the understanding of the requirements from our customer, their line, their specification, and what are the products that they packed in. There can be paints for industrial, there can be food, and there can be different types of products that require different types of lacquers to ensure the longevity, the safety of the usage. And up next is the R&D. We focus on the lab test, the lab sample generation, the additive to enhance the performance, and so on and so forth to ensure that we best have the tailor-made products for our customers. Next is the quality control. Well, we take pride in ensuring that our products have quality, and customer can rest assured that all of our products will work exactly as they have expected. And lastly is the client service, where we frequently visit, and we also have a frequent auditing from our customer around the world as well. But we visit them and they visit us to ensure that we comply with the institution, the global regulatory. So to ensure that this brand that everyone here, the listeners who consume all types of products, can rest assured that the packaging itself is beautiful and also safe. The credential of our companies largely focus on the acceptance of our customer and the acceptance of the global brand. We can see here is Coca-Cola, Heineken, and we have a few more, which is country specific and also certain approvals that comes from the chemical side of regulatory. On the factory credits, we have halal, we have certified ISO and green industry, which is from the Ministry of Industry from Thailand. And lastly, we have the corporate governance awards, which are focused on the anti-corruption, the anti-corruption, and also the CG stars that we still actively and still hold the 5 stars. So secondly, we move on to the financial health, the highlights of our company for Q2. The main highlights would be the sales revenue, which seeing from the trend, we are coasting at since last year, we are coasting at the number that you see here from around 262 ranging down to 200. And for this year, we see a slightly underperformance when compared to last year. When we look at the Q1 in this year, we have a total of 223 million of sales revenue. And this month, just 5 short. When compared 6 months of this year to the last year, there's a 19 million difference, which is around 4%. So the sales breakdown of Q2 and the total of the 6 months, we separated into 3 main categories. First, the domestic market in Thailand, the China market, and the export market, which include all countries. The domestic, we see a growth. The China, we see a slowdown from, we will deep dive into the details in the outlook part of the presentation. And for the export, we see a growth. And well, the highlight number here is that domestic grew 8%, China decreased by 26%, and the total of export grew by 14%. And when we break down into our product segment, we break down to compound sealants and also lacquers. Well, the others are could be the complementary products, the trading products that we focus on the metal packaging products. In totality, we can see that the changes are that our lacquer side of segment grew by 11%, and the compound business decreases by 20%. And the other products grew by 44%. That is just a side product of our portfolio. We'll deep dive to the cost and expense breakdown. You could see the trend that the raw material costs have been slowly coming down, and we also want to focus on the change of SG&A. For the change of SG&A here, you could see that the trend went along with the sales as well, but you could see that the changes are that both raw materials are better than last year, and the overall expenses have gone down now that we have more margin. Moving on to the gross profit, the EBITDA and net profit. Well, when we look at the highlight of net profit, we can see that it's a big difference from last year, where we have a tremendous impact from the supply chain issue and the cost that rose from the price of crude oil. So in this year, when compared 6 month by 6 month in 2023 and 24, we see that we have a loss last year of negative 36 million, and for this year we have a positive of 27 million. And moving on to the statement of financial position, well, the asset, liability, the equity. But the highlight here is once we make profit, our asset grew, our equity grew, and we can look at that. The main key financial ratios are that the net debt is quite low for the company. It's only 0.61 multiplier. And the changes here are, there's no drastic changes in the asset and liability since the last time we do update in Q1. For the statement of cash flow here, there's 3 main key things. We make profit, we generate more cash flow from the operating activities, and the investing side of things on R&D, on facility, we have an investment activities of 3 million, and the cash flow changes of over 59 million come from changes of short-term loans and reduction of the burden of interest rate. Well, lastly, we want to focus on the business outlook, the agenda 3, where we first going to discuss about the domestic market in Thailand. Here, the metal packaging, we could see a growth, but we see that there's more production, and the outlook is somewhat quite good in the first 6 months, and we'll look forward to a stable or growing last 6 months of the year. Well, the statistic here is that the packaging was increased by over 30,000 tons, which is around 15% increase from last year. And when we focus on the export, well, that's a different pictures here, is that it went down just 1%. But there's no definite reasoning. We think that our export market is quite strong, and specifically the tuna export market, Thailand has always been number 1. And after Thailand would be Ecuador, and the third one would be China. But Thailand remains as the biggest tuna export, and metal packaging largely associated with tuna. But on the details of our businesses around the world, when we talk about Ubis Asia, we sell all around the world. And over 70% of our production we export. And we can see the figures here. There's Latin America that make up of 10%, Middle East 10%, India around 2%, China around 30%, Thailand 30%, and the Asia Pacific and Southeast Asia market, which is 15%. You could see that from the last year opportunity days, from all the news from Ubis Asia, we are focusing growth on export, and mainly in the Middle East and Latin America. And the outcome reflect that we see growth, and we see the futures in those regions. The growth of Latin America grew over 59% year to year. For Middle East grew 60% year to year. And we are hopeful that we will take more market share in India as well. When we talk about qualities, that's our main things for the industry, for what we do. The excellence, expertise, and innovation that we focus on, and largely our expense and investment focus on R&D. We focus on making new products. We focus on ensuring that our products are safe and suitable for the customer lines around the world. And we can talk about these key things into 4 topics. The first thing would be R&D. We continuously invest and continuously put emphasis on the R&D. We come up with new solution and formulation, and we are hoping to see growth from our new formulation in coming years. The customized solution, this is largely why we grew very fast in many regions. We grew over 60% in some region, 50 and 30%. That's due to the fact that we are very niche and very specialized in these solutions for our customers. The can makers, they want to be able to create a reliable product, and they need a partner, and that partner is Ubis. Well, thirdly, advanced technology implementation. Our newest facility here was built 7 years ago, and when it comes to the technology of production, the technology of quality control, we are quite confident that we are second to none. Finally, the sustainability practice, where we want to focus on the production process, on our impacts to the environment and our neighbors and people around our community. Ubis, we create such specific products that we also put emphasis on ensuring the least amount of waste, and if there are any, we put emphasis and expense and investment into ensuring that those are taken care of in a sustainable way, and to ensure that it doesn't lead to negative impacts around us. Well, we move on towards the product approval. We have an ongoing application and ongoing implementation of BRC, the British Retail Consortium. This is quite quite an accomplishment once we acquire it by the end of the year or early next year. It's a consortium that would have heavy emphasis on the safety and the process of making these components of food that everyone around the world contact and consume every single day. They put heavy emphasis on the process and to ensure that we have the very best and very safe products to our customers. And we want to put another emphasis on the ANVISA, which is the Brazilian Health Regulation Agency, where it's very much like FDA in the US and OYO in Thailand, where these are very highly regulated to ensure that the materials are within the approvals and all of our formulation are in accordance to their guidelines. And now that we have them, we look forward to more growth in Brazil specifically and overall in Latin America. The factory accreditation, where we have ISO 9001, 14001, 45001, the green industry, and soon enough the BRC. Well, finally, to close off, we have focused heavily on the margin and ensuring that we have a profitable and sustainable company. And now that we have achieved so, we see margin changes, expense changes, and a much better bottom line from last year. And that was the focus for last year. And this year we focus on boosting sales, focus on boosting the development, and to take more market share in Thailand, in China, and also all around the world. So that will be the end of the Q2, the third time for this year. And we'll move on to the Q&A session. We have quite a few questions, and these questions are in Thai, and I'm going to answer that in Thai as well. โอเคก็คำถามที่1นะครับแนวโน้มยอดขายในประเทศมีแนวโน้มยอดขายโตต่อเนื่องไหมก็จาก6เดือนที่ผ่านมานะครับยอดขายในส่วนของแลกเกอร์และคอมเพลเนี่ยก็แลกเกอร์มีการเติบโตส่วนคอมเพลลดลงนิดนึงโดยเฉพาะในประเทศไทยเนี่ยก็จะมีการเติบโตมากขึ้นนะครับซึ่งเรามองว่ายังคงทรงตัวหรืออาจจะโตได้มากกว่านี้เราก็คาดหวังว่าจะเป็นตัวเลขที่อย่างน้อยๆเนี่ยยังคงที่แล้วก็โตขึ้นนะครับในอีก6เดือนข้างหน้าส่วนคำถามถัดมานะครับประเทศจีนยอดขายและการเติบโตขึ้นเป็นยังไงนะครับจากที่ปีก่อนๆเนี่ยเราได้มีการนำเสนอส่วนของจีนเนี่ยเราจะเป็นสัดส่วนอยู่ที่ประมาณ1 ใน 3หรือประมาณ 33% นะครับในปีนี้เนี่ยมีการลดลงซึ่งก็ต้องยอมรับเลยว่าการแข่งขันในจีนเนี่ยมีการเปลี่ยนไปนะครับแล้วก็การแข่งจากโลคอลเนี่ยมีมากขึ้นเรื่อยๆโลคอลที่พูดถึงเนี่ยคือโลคอลที่จีนนะครับที่ว่าในส่วนของแลกเกอร์เนี่ยลดลงเห็นได้ชัดส่วนคอมเพลเนี่ยเป็นตลาดที่เรายังครองตลาดพอสมควรนะครับเราเป็นคอมเพลซีแลนด์เป็นยางแนวที่ได้รับการapprovedโดย Heineken แล้วก็โค้กเนี่ยเรายังถือว่าเป็นผู้เล่นที่มีศักยภาพที่ยังคงตลาดแล้วก็โตได้ในตลาดจีนนะครับมาคำถามที่ถัดมานะครับไตรมาส2สาเหตุที่ยอดขายลดลงก็ยอดขายลดลงเนี่ยก็จะมีผลกระทบจากปัจจัยทั้ง3 segment นะครับ segment export segment ในไทยแล้วก็ segment ในจีนก็ถ้าพูดถึงต่างประเทศก่อนนะครับยอดขายจะมียอดขายที่ถูกมีลดลงจริงๆมีโตขึ้นด้วยมันก็จะถ่วงกันไปแต่ในช่วงต้นปีถึงกลางปีนี้เนี่ยลูกค้ารายใหญ่เราเนี่ยได้มีการสต็อกมากขึ้นในปีที่ผ่านมาทำให้ยังมีการใช้งานที่ยังเหลืออยู่แล้วพอยังเหลืออยู่เนี่ยยอดขายก็เลยไปกระจุกอยู่ใน6ปีข้างหลังนะครับนี่ก็คือเป็นตัวเลขคร่าวๆของทางต่างประเทศในส่วนของไทยเนี่ยเราก็คาดหวังว่าจะมีการขายที่มากขึ้นนะครับคาดหวังว่าในไทยเนี่ยก็จะเป็นอีกเสาหลักของทาง Ubis เลยที่ทั้งโตแล้วก็พัฒนาร่วมไปกับพาร์ทเนอร์ของเรานะครับในส่วนของจีนเนี่ยต้องยอมรับว่า local เนี่ยมีการแข่งขันที่มากขึ้นเรากำลังศึกษาอยู่ว่าเราจะหาข้อได้เปรียบในการแข่งขันในจีนยังไงบ้างนะครับโอเคซึ่งโดยปัจจัยการยอดขายเนี่ยก็มีเรื่องของการส่งออกด้วยนะครับคือในบางส่วนเนี่ยก็ความเปลี่ยนแปลงใน supply chain ทางเรื่อง shipping กับการส่งไปลาตินการส่งไปแอฟริกาแล้วก็Middle East เนี่ยก็มีความยากขึ้นนะครับ shipment ถูก delay ทำให้ยอดขายจริงที่ควรจะเกิดขึ้นใน6เดือนที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยต้องเริ่มย้ายไปเดือนที่7 8 9แล้วก็จนไปถึงสิ้นปีนะครับไปคำถามถัดไปนะครับว่าความคาดหวังของปีนี้มีแนวโน้มจะได้ปันผลหรือไม่ด้วยนโยบายของทาง Ubis เองเนี่ยหากเรามีกำไรนะครับเราก็มีนโยบายอยู่แล้วนะครับในการปันผลก็อยู่ที่ว่าผลประกอบการเราเป็นยังไงนโยบายของการลงทุนเพื่อได้ความยั่งยืนแล้วก็ได้การเติบโตของยอดขายเนี่ยจะต้องมีการลงทุนอะไรไหมจะต้องนำกำไรสะสมเนี่ยไปลงทุนเพิ่มเติมจะเป็นที่จีนหรือต่างประเทศไหมอันนี้ก็อยู่ที่นโยบายด้วยนะครับเพื่อที่ว่าเราจะได้ยอดขายและกำไรที่ยั่งยืนครับมาคำถามสุดท้ายความคืบหน้าของคดีในช่วงปี 2017-2018 นะครับคดีของ RF Vision หรือเป็นของบริษัท Family Corporate นะครับซึ่งความคืบหน้าเนี่ยก็เราได้บทสรุปมาในครั้งก่อนที่เราได้พูดถึงในอัปเดตแล้วก็ตอบคำถามในช่วงของทาง AGM ด้วยนะครับว่าเราได้ผลมาแล้วแต่เราก็ต้องมีกระบวนการในการติดตามกระบวนการในการเจรจาและทำตามหลักเกณฑ์นะครับข้อบังคับของข้อบังคับคดีสืบทรัพย์ข้อบังคับคดีของทางที่ทางศาลแจ้งมานะครับก็ถ้ามีความคืบหน้าในไตรมาสหน้าหรือความคืบหน้าใน AGM ครั้งหน้าก็คงได้มีพูดถึงแน่ๆนะครับโอเคขอบคุณสำหรับแต่ละคำถามนะครับก็คงมีคำถามประมาณแค่นี้นะครับก็จะรอสักครู่นะครับอาจจะปิดการทำอัปเดตวันนี้โอเคครับก็ขอบคุณผู้ชมทุกท่านนะครับ Thank you everyone for attending our update. We sometimes will use Thai, sometimes we'll present in English. Hope everyone can fully understand our businesses, our outlook, and hope to see you next time. ขอบคุณครับ